Hello, my friends. Today, the VFW volunteers were out collecting money and handing out these poppies. And they even had one like this. It's made out of metal. Let's go into something else kind of neat. In my change today, I noticed I had a couple older nickels. I pulled them out to show you 59 and 46, which is kind of neat, but they're not really worth anything. Now, Monday I went by my jeweler and he had a few things for me. If I can get this to open. First thing we'll cover is this standing Liberty quarter. That is a Type 1. There's no stars underneath the Flying Eagle. And that's how you know that's a Type 1 when it's likely 1917, not 1918 or 16, because 16 was such a low number. Now, this, he wrote $3 on it, but he gave me a blanket price for all the coins I'm showing you. This one's a 63, and I have a feeling if I pocket carried it for a little while, it would take that marker off of it. Now, here's the one that was also in that bag that I thought it's kind of a shame this has holes in it. I can tell it's an 1853 of arrows. You can read Liberty. It's got a full rim. You can see the little dimples all the way around. It is a half dime. If there was a mint mark on there, it's gone. But had this not been any holes on this, being able to read Liberty like that would make this a potentially $30 or $40 coin, but it wasn't. Now, I went by his shop earlier today, same guy. He got a couple other things for me. And keep in mind, silver's $42 right now, an ounce, maybe 43. It was 42 earlier, but it might have went up to 43. So he had this. It does have a hole, and it is beat up a little. But this cost me melt value of 1 ounce of silver. It's got an eagle and the shield there. It was made by the Silver Refineries Incorporated, Provo, Utah. 31.1 grams, 3/9 fine plus, or 3/9 fine plus fine, I mean. And has a date on it of 1980. So it's kind of vintage. It's too bad that it has the hole in it. Now, the other thing he had for me is this. Very tiny 3-cent star coin, or trime. Now, it looks like there's 2 lines around the star, which means this is the third type of these, starting in 1859 and running up to, I believe it was 1873. See part of a date. It is very hard to make out anything on it, but that looks like the 5, so 1859. Some of the mintages of the later years, this were in the thousands, so it's a very low mintage item. Now, I'm going to show you this. I've taken all the 40s Mercury dimes out of my boxes to sort. And I'm pretty sure with this many dimes in a 5-year span, I'm going to be able to have a lot of duplicates. Maybe even almost a whole box full. Not this big box, but a smaller one. And what's the rarest one in Mercury's? 1916 Denver. So I only have the 1940. In this box, $1.75. There's a Denver one, a higher grade 40S, another 40, and another 40S. So there's 3 of those, with that one looking pretty nice. Only one 40 Denver and one 1940, so not a whole lot of 1940. The 41 is a different story. Bit higher grade one. That one says uncirculated, written on the card, that is. It kind of looks pretty well uncirculated to me. There's another reasonably nice, and another one. So these are all ones that, if I was selling them, would sell higher because they're nicer graded, nicer grade coins. So set this here, and then we go, how many 41Ds are there? There are 3, and then 3 41S's. That one's kind of bland looking, even though it says XF. That's the details. Does have mint luster. This one, though, it's relatively nice. So these are still a little bit higher priced than I think I could sell them for to someone who's just going to resell them. That's one thing you always have to keep in mind. If you're selling them to someone who is going to resell the coin... Oh, wait, somebody's got out of order. Oh, Littlefoot. There's a definite one I can sell. Another one, and another one, and the 40D is a little higher grade, so we can pop that on there. The 40S, another 40S, and the 40 Denver. There's some more 41s on this side, including this one that does not have a price on it. So I don't know what I paid for that one. Alright, how many 41s are on this side? This is where I'm going to have a lot of duplicates. I'm going to set that down. I have this many more 41 ones. So this is going to pick up. That says AU. Pretty nice. No price. $1.75 for that one. $2.25. So there's a couple I could probably sell on the 41s, because I have these other ones that are all nicer coins than what those are. Now the Denver, one's not a bad condition. $1.90, $2.25 for that one. So there's a couple in the 41 Denvers that I could probably part with and make a little money, or at least break out even. Now there's quite a few 41S's in this pile. $1.50, $1.75, $1.75. All these are just general circulation grade. These are, well, not that one so much. These two are a little bit higher, so I'd probably keep them. And the rest of these, all 7 coins, could be sold pretty easy. So that is how many 1941 Mercury dimes I have. That's probably 15. So we set that aside for the moment and take these 40s off. Put them aside too. And we're going to see how many 1942 Mercury dimes I have in this box. And how many of them were cheaper. I don't believe I need that many 1942 Philadelphia coins. So we set them there. How many Denvers are in this? That many. That many San Francisco. It probably gets worse for 43 and 44 and 45. I'm sure I have a lot of those too. So that one, that's a nicer one there. I'd be likely to keep. Maybe that one too. Or that one. That one's pretty much looks uncirculated to me, or really close. That one's not real pricey. Oh, there's a couple. Any of them that's this cheap, I'm sure I could sell for more. And I'm fairly certain that if I wanted to sell this one, I would get more than what the circulated ones were or are. So that's the stack of them. How many Denver ones are real cheap? $1.60, $1.85. That's a nice one. We'll have a closer look at it. Another one that's $1.75. Another one. And that one's kind of nice too. We'll look at both of these. And a little scratch there on the front of it, running right down the side of the face. Let's look at this one. So one wrote Choice AU. It's not without scratches. AU means it's almost uncirculated. The middle band is almost all the way across, so it's not a lot. The bottom band isn't quite all the way across either, but those two I'd probably keep, and the rest of these 42 Denvers are all ones I feel like I could sell. There's 5 of them. Because I don't need a bunch of the same coin, really. I mean, how many 42S's are cheap? This is a very fine plus. There's one. $1.50, $1.85, $2. This one looks, there's $2.25. This one looks like it's maybe AU. Is it really San Francisco? Some of these, yeah, it's San Francisco. The top bands and the lower band looks like they go all the way across. The middle band, not quite. I'd probably keep that one and all the rest of these 6 are all coins I could probably say I don't need. Just a few more years. To go through. So that's the 42s. Quite a few options that I feel like I could sell. Still a lot of coins left. I knew I had a lot of these, but sometimes you just don't realize how many. Is there any reason to hold that many 43 Mercury dimes? You know, that's like hoarding. Looks like there's 7. One's from Denver. And how many San Francisco ones? 5. So there's less of the San Francisco than there are of the other ones. So let's look at the Phillies first. Any of them that are $2 or less, I feel like I could sell for more than that easy. That one's $2.75. Does look a little higher grade like than those two are. But that one for sure. That one says AU on it. Maybe. There's another one. And another one. And yet another one. They're all but $1.85. So pretty much all that can go. And that can go too. The rest of these might be able to go too. They might go for more though. Because that one looks pretty nice. This one says choice extra fine on it. That one has no grade or nothing. This one says uncirculated. Looks pretty nice to me. Let's see what the band part looks like. The lower one's a little weak in the middle. And the middle one's pretty much totally worn down. The top has 3 distinct lines, or 3 bars. So that's a pretty nice one. But I could certainly part with some of these 1943 Philadelphia ones. And not, you know, hello Darby and Littlefoot. Now let's look at the 40. Oh, I didn't realize I had one quite this nice looking in these, or that high of a price. I'm looking to see if there's a break in that mint luster on the higher spots. Not looking like it. Let's see what the band's part looks like. Lower one looks pretty strong. The middle one, almost, but I think it's got a break right in the middle. The top, pretty nice. The coin itself, nice mint luster. That's definite keeper. That one, this one they claim AU. Not too bad. Let's see if this one looks as nice as that one. It's cheaper when I bought it. It looks like there's a gouge on the forehead almost, but maybe not. Maybe that's part of the design. Let's look at the band's part. A little break in the middle. Still a pretty nice one. Probably not as nice as the one that was $7, but let's see what these last few say. Oh, another one that says it's uncirculated. It does look a little scratched up some, but it does look like the mint luster runs all the way through the design. Let's see about the band's part. Lower band is weak. Middle band is weak. Top is a little weak. So it's not quite as nice. Still not too bad, but I don't know if it will fetch that much to someone who's going to resell it. Probably list it myself and sell it for at least that much, whatever's wrote on it, but then I won't make any money and I'll have to spend a lot of time doing it. $2. That one's pretty $1.90. It's pretty reasonably circulated. You can see how it's flattened out, where the other one was the AU one had a lot of details there that are gone. Obviously this one is a circulated San Francisco. Well, Littlefoot, the trick of this is you got to get really close with the loop to the camera and the coin to the loop, and then you get a pretty clear picture. So those two can be sold. That's another one. That one can be sold. This one says choice extra fine. It seems to have slight flattening. Doesn't look like the mint luster breaks too much though. Lower band is, you can see the line through it. The light hits it right, not so much on the middle or the top. So I do have a few 43S's that basically all four of these could be sold pretty easy if I choose to. So I got 44 and 45 left in the Mercury dimes, and there's a lot of them. Oh wow. In reality, that's way more 44 Philadelphia ones than I really need. Now I don't have that many of the Denver 44. How many 44S's? I don't have as many of them as I do the Philly either. So let's look through this. $2, $1.75, and that one kind of looks nice. Like I might have had this one for quite some time. Well, that claims uncirculated. Let's have a look. It certainly doesn't look bad. There's some kind of dirt on the card mount. Alright, the middle band is worn down quite a bit. The bottom band there looks like the line goes all the way across. The top has two lines that kind of look like they go all the way across too. A little bit of scratch there above the yeah, I've had this since it was a new coin. Not quite that old. That is a nice one. $1.35. $1.35. Just shows you how long ago I bought these. More recently, even ones this coin dealer's been asking about $3 for them. All right, AU. That's kind of nice. Let's see what this side looks like. Well, the middle band is not got a line through it, neither does the lower one does look like it, but that middle one, there's no line right through the middle of that, as you can see. It's a little wear, but not very much. Well, this one also says AU on it. Let's just have a quick look at it. Scratches and stuff, bag marks. They didn't really handle these coins to be, perfect. At the mint, they were just made to be spent in money. Top, you can see there's two lines on it. Not super strong though. The middle one, though. The lower one, not so much either. Another one that's $1.85. This is Choice Extra Fine. Looks like a line right on the coin. Bit of a gouge. This one looks kind of clean. Not much wear to speak of. Although the middle band, you can see it's not got a line across. Alright, so there's several of these 44s I feel like I could easily sell. How many of these are real cheap? 44 Denver, $1.90, $1.75. They're all cheap enough I could easily sell, but I do want to keep at least the best examples. So which one would that be? Not that one. Maybe this one. So we go ahead and take those and put them in the box. Go to the 44 S's. $1.90, I could sell that easy. A $2 one. This one has no price listed. Don't really know what I paid for it. But these last two here, easily. Let's look at the one that says uncirculated. So that's 4 or 5 I could get rid of if I wanted to. I see some scratches and stuff. Let's look at the back. Well, the middle band doesn't have a split going down the whole way. Neither does the lower one. And the top is kind of weak, so this is probably more likely an AU coin instead of uncirculated. I mean, the professional graders would grade these maybe rougher than some people write on the card. Let's see how many 45s I have. Well, that's going to be quite a few. .45 Philadelphia. All right. There's Denver's. Oh, 312, yeah. So, yeah. And there are a couple. One in this that are different micro S's. We'll look at this one, 45S, which is cheap enough. See how big the S is. Let's look at one of these. It should be considerably smaller. Yeah, that's a lot smaller. Is this one the same way? I do not know how common it is for a micro S mint, but both of them are pretty small. Maybe not likely to want to sell those. See if there's any of these that say they're AU. $1.85. That says $2.50 at the top. $1.75. Another one, $1.75. One that's $1.85. And then there's another one that's $1.85. Let's look how nice this one looks. Again, it's got some marks on it. That little thing there is an A and a W as the maker's initials. Or the designer, I mean. See a scratch across the coin. It's nicer than them other ones, but I'd probably keep it in the 2 micros. That could probably sell all of those if I wanted to. Let's look at the Philadelphia ones. $1.85. That one says AU. Let's just see how AU it looks. Something on the card. There are marks on it. Well, you can see the wear across the middle band. They wrote AU. It might be overstating it slightly. All right. $1.35. $1.75. Oh, there's another one that says it's AU. There's one for $1.50. $2.10. And $2.25. That whole stack could probably go. That's 7. Let's look at this. Oh, wait. Which one of these 2 did I look at first? Let's see. Few marks. I think this one's the one that was second. Yeah, it's scratched some. About the same. But there's several of these Philadelphia ones. There is 9 of them in this. And this makes 10 and 11. I don't really need 11 of them. I don't need 9. I think it's enough if I only have a couple nicer examples. Let's look over the Denvers. That one's a little higher. $1.90, $1.85, $1.50, $1.75, $1.75. This one says tone. Oh, it's tone all right. And dirty. But one thing it isn't is heavily worn. It is worn a little, but not real bad. Let's see if this one looks better or not in terms of details. Yeah, it was dirt on the card. It's a bit of a scratch right there on that Y. Yeah, that's not got full bands at all, not even close. Doesn't have a grade wrote. This one someone wrote XF on. Don't know. No staples on it. Someone taped that one. So there's a few of the 45 Denvers I could easily sell if I want to. So I've sorted all of them out. I'm going to take out up more than one full side of this box top. So here's how many 1940 Mercuries I have. There's the few S ones on the 45. All the rest of this as you can see, is a tremendous number of dimes. And I'm sitting there thinking, do I really need to hold that many of these? And people are going to call me a hoarder if I do. They will all pop in that lid. Next thing I might do is Roosevelt, but probably not tonight. All right. Someone has a question. I think I have a few high dollar American coins. How do I find buyers? Well, first off, you should look in your red book and see how it describes the details of a coin and how you would grade it. Because you definitely want to know approximately the grade is before you ever even try to sell it. And you also then look at what the red book says value-wise for the particular coin you're looking at. Now, you're going to need key dates for them to really be high dollar coins. A key date would be like a Mercury 1916 Denver. Doesn't even have to be in high grade. It can be a good 4, and then it's still worth a lot. In fact, my coin dealer had one that was a good, I think it's AG3 grade, and it's $850 because it's just so rare. It's 72 with no mint. Well, that would be Philadelphia. I don't think back then, if I remember correctly, the Philadelphia's from that time frame having a mint mark. It's like this is a 61. It's Philadelphia, and there is no mint mark on it. I don't know if I have a 70s one handy on my table, but I do know a good chance there might be one in this. Here's the 72. There is no mint mark on it. And in this kind of shape, it's a penny. About 3 cents a copper. I didn't think they put mint marks on the front of these for Philadelphia in the 70s. As you can see, 77, no mint mark. So basically, if you're 72 penny, not likely to be worth much, even if it looks totally uncirculated. I mean, like this 81 Denver, only better. You can see the mint luster on the coin. It's barely seen any circulation. But you see what looks like part of a fingerprint. See Lincoln sitting in the memorial there. Not real well, but no, it's what's this one? This one's well, it's 1960. Let's get it up in the light. Having trouble getting it to focus on this for some reason. There, that's better. As I look at it now, I can see there is some wear and tear, but it's a pretty nice looking cent just to get out of your pocket change, being as old as it is, and have that amount of details left on the coin. But that pretty much covers what I wanted to talk about. I do think if I pocket carry this for a while, that 3 that he wrote on there will come off. I don't know about the part on the field over here, because it's lower. It might be tougher to get that to come off. Could probably use acetone as well. But this particular one is a type 1 standing Liberty quarter. The date's gone, which happened to a lot of these, because back when they first started making them, the date was right on the surface of the coin. They recessed it later, and that makes those dates a little harder to wear off, but a lot of them did wear off. Nothing super special. Now, we're going to go ahead and tell everyone to have a good night. Oh, how many 1972 cents they made? Of Philadelphia ones? It's probably really higher than million. Make this thing for. It doesn't matter that this one is a 2018. The only thing it'll have different is approximate values. Let's go back to cents. And you said 72. Even the double die reverse of that mint state 65. This says 675. I don't know what you're talking about. The 72 Philadelphia is right there. They made almost 3 billion of them. Mint state 65 says 30 cents, and then the double die reverse, mint state 65 says 675. I don't see anything. Let's see if there's anything down here. Included number, but value for mint state 63 is 75,000. That is the A. Where's the A on this page? I'm looking for it. I don't really see it. See the C. Where's the A? Hold on. $55 double die averse. Some decent numbers for that. You can see what it looks like. Very, very common double die one. I've seen them before. But put this back here. One was copper and one was zinc. You know, I don't know. This doesn't list any 72 that high. Let's see if I can see. The note in the red book doesn't make any notification of a high value 1972 cent. So I don't know what it is that you're talking about. On some of these coins, they tell you ones that are worth a lot. But one reason why it's going to be really hard for any of these cents to be worth anything, look at the image of the 1982 large date. 10,700,000,000. When your numbers are that high, when the numbers minted is that high, the chances of having any 1982 large date or small date for that matter, Philadelphia coins being worth anything more than pocket change is about 0. And the super high numbers would continue through the 80s and 90s, not reaching over 10 billion though, but 3 and 4 billion, 7 billion, lots of them were made. Now the 2009, which here we'll show you the coins, that, and that. So all these are 1-year designs. You see that the Philadelphia one was only in the millions. So 284 million, still a lot. None of those are real super high mintages for that 1-year design. None of them exceed 400 million. The highest looks like 376. So they didn't make that many of those, but they're not going to be making them much longer anyway, so I don't know. But Darby's down home detecting, thanks for stopping by, and he made a comment that one of them coin apps apps that tell you stuff like that sometimes inflate the value of your coin tremendously. 1992S. Wait, is this a silver one? I think that might be silver. Well, that one I got out of a Coinstar. 1954. Yeah, it's worn. I'm gonna have to weigh this and see if that really is a silver one, because I didn't realize I had it sitting here. It will be more than what the copper and nickel ones are in weight. So anyway, I hope that everyone has a good night. I've been on for, timer says 51 minutes, so I think that's pretty much all I have for this. I can go through my 40s dimes and pick out probably a whole box worth of them that I could easily sell if I wanted to. But that's pretty much all I have. I want to thank Darby's Down Home Detecting, Memories on Videos, Littlefoot Silver, and who else made any comments? Looks like mostly with those people. But that's pretty much all I have for you. We'll see you next time. I might go live tomorrow if I decide to go through these dimes and pick out some and sell them. I might comment about that. But have a great night, because that's pretty much all I have. We'll see you next time.